and compete. What a performance by our U.S. skaters.
First time ever. And Jimmy Johnson, first time ever a tournament leader.
And his hometown has produced a lot of fine figure skaters. Some of the great coaches have come from there. It's just a very tranquil place to train.
And what a difference in styles here. The power of Ballard against the speed of Johnson.
Dell didn't like that power pin, but he says okay.
You know what you're also going to see here, Chris, is Johnson's pretty much of a conventional player. He still manages a bowling center in Delaware, and he only gets about 4 or 5 revolutions on a bowling ball compared to with a top touring pro like Ballard gets about 14 or 15.
Dell with a total of 5 titles in 9 years. He said from Richardson, Texas, and you'd know that's ranch country, but did you know that the very first cattle ranch was right here on Long Island at Montauk? Deep Hollow Ranch, established in 1658. Cowboys and all.
Nice to own that real estate now.
Oh, yeah.
About 6 seconds.
Jim Johnson, 6'2", 207 pounds, 30 years old. Started late. What a delightful guy. Enjoys every minute competition. Lucky on that high hit, Bo.
Well, Chris, he wears a sock on his left shoe, his sliding shoe. The only player I've ever seen do it. As you see his profile, look at his left shoe, and then a nice smooth swing as he pulls the ball up a little bit. And the reason he wears that sock on the left shoe is so he gets a long slide and stays down on the shot. He didn't on that particular second frame first ball.
Jimmy was nice this year at the Showboat in Las Vegas, fourth at the Pba National Championship in 1989.
And Chris, in that 89 National Championship, there was a little controversy between he and Mark Baker about whether the sock was legal having it on there, because Baker felt it made this approach a little slipperier. But it's very legal to use the sock on the left foot. It just increases his slide. Good shot there in the second frame. As you see, almost the straight ball of Johnson compared to the big bender of Del Ballard Jr.
Next week, $160,000 Bud Light Open in Parma Heights, Ohio. Jim Pinsack, the defending champion. We're in Sayville, Long Island today.
Roll up. Yes!
Got some good power in his pipes, believe me. Speaking of pipes, Mrs. Arthur Prysock, who has a bowling league of her own. She is in the audience today. Her husband, Arthur Prysock, one of the great singers, along with Joe Williams.
And she sure enjoys her bowling, and she's appeared announced with before the championship.
What?
Or is that disbelief?
Well, it's a little bit disbelief, Chris, as you can see it on his face. It is an extreme amount of oil down the center of the lane, as we showed you when we set up the championship area at the top of the telecast. And when you hit that oil a little quickly, right at the arrows, the ball will slide a little farther down the lane, and Dell needs to get that ball real wide to get the good hook and good finish on the bowling ball. He'll lead by 8 with a spare.
Okay, this is our championship match for Leisure's Long Island Open. More following this message. In the Leisure Bowling Centers group, there are 7. Bill Reitzig is the president, Bill Parks the vice president, and Rich Butera has been the tournament chairman. And what a tremendous job he's done. Over 2,100 Pro-Am participants.
Johnson, fourth frame, can take the lead.
And I'll tell you, the chairman of the board, Arthur Kalachi, can afford to be away in Boca Raton watching this with execs like he has here.
I agree, Chris, as you see Jimmy Johnson sliding by the head pin, leaving the 1-2 an easy spare. He'll trail by 8.
Early talked to Jim about his advice to an amateur on a proper mindset necessary for rolling a 300 game.
For me, what works is you take one shot at a time. You don't think about a 300. You just hope that they all fall and you hit your mark, and you basically keep the same game that you had for the first 6 or 7 frames, depending on where you're at in the game.
Jimmy Johnson with 33 sanctioned by the American Bowling Congress, 300 games.
The American Bowling Congress celebrating its 50th anniversary last night in Toledo, Ohio. With a big dinner, and Bo, there were 46 of the 62 living Hall of Famers. We both missed it, lowering the count.
Come on. Yes.
There's a future one in the ABC.
Take your time. Make good shot.
And a quick congratulations to fellow Pro Bowlers Bill Beach, Tita Semez, and Les Schisler, who were inducted in the American Bowling Congress Hall of Fame last night. Now Ballard playing the extreme left side of the lane. He'll be sliding right in the center, and he rolled just the ball just wide of the third arrow. Great shot.
All right, that one is late now. To 18 pins.
Come on now.
Killer instinct, this guy.
Now Johnson led the tournament by a single pin. After 42 games, he was only 1 pin ahead of Ballard. Right now, he trails by 18.
Sliding by disaster.
Well, he's got a major problem right here in that he's trailing in the match, and he needs to get the ball over in this area. Slide the ball over into the 10 pin. Here's how you need to do it. Get it right there. Slide the pin over. Cover the 10. He needs this to stay it right in the match.
Oh boy.
What a tough break, Chris.
Mm-hmm.
2 slides just in front of the 10. He actually cut it too close.
He is his 6-year-old son, Jimmy the third here, who was telling me, there he is, Jimmy with his mom. Tell you, little Jimmy was telling me how he bowls in the Bantam League down in Wilmington. That's where to start, isn't it, Nelson?
Well, that is, Chris. And right now, his daddy's got some big problems and has just about the same shot we saw before. Needs to get the ball over again, once again, in this zone right here, and then slide the 2 pin into the 10. Here's the shot. Get the ball here, roll that 2 pin right into the 10. Big trouble. And now with Ballard coming up in the 7th, a commanding lead, he can extend his lead to 52 pins with another strike. And his buddy Robert Lawrence is on the bubble at the Firestone.
I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take it.
Yeah, that's about 3 that he's taken today.
Well, that time he had the 4-7-10 split standing, and the 2 pin went between the 4 and 7, knocked out those 2 pins, and he has only the 10 pin remaining to have a commanding 41 pin lead with just 3 frames remaining.
Wearing that wireless mic. Del Ballard seated second.
Well, Jimmy Johnson absolutely must strike in the 8th, 9th, and 10th frames. Has a potential 206. Has to get on the stick right now. Trouble. He has just not trusted the ball to the right. We have an old saying in professional bowling, trust is a must or your game is a bust. And Jimmy's game right now is a bust as he's trailing by more than 40 pins. And he has to give the ball room. He's pulling every shot up towards the nose.
Still in the 8th
No problem cross lane there. For Jimmy Johnson to have any chance of winning, he must strike here in the 9th, set it up for the 10th frame, and get 3 strikes in the 10th. He would finish with 196. That will force Ballard to get a mark and a decent count in one of the last 2 frames.
Johnson strikes.
Now the man from Texas.
Can slam the door with a strike right here. It doesn't even have to bowl the 10th.
That just slammed the door.
Anybody know where this one's going?
We all see that.
He has it locked up. Chris
Down
turns to the
the
crowd.
middle.
This is going to be right down the middle. No gutter ball. There you go.
Great bowling all week, man. Great bowling.
And Nate. Del telling Jimmy Johnson, great bowling all week. And that is for sure. Ballard with a 250 in the semifinal, a 222 championship game here at the Sayville Bowl. Del Ballard Jr. bowling against Jim Johnson of Wilmington.